I was born into greatness. My parents are smart and wealthy. They basically planned my life out for me. I have nothing to worry about. I can basically live life free without any responsibilities. And I want to. There's just one thing. Camp podcast. It's so much work and so much effort, but every time it comes around, I just drop everything and attend. I don't know why or what keeps bringing me here, but I just want to live a relaxed life without any responsibility. Where am I? What the? Who are you people?
Prince Damien. We are the Lords of the Ancient.
What the fuck? You guys are a cult? Listen. I have nothing to do with anything you guys are talking about, okay? And I don't know what that prince thing is, but it has nothing to do with me. So if you could just, please.
You are a frequent visitor of Camp Podcast.
Yes, but I don't feel like I should.
Then it is with great honor that I announce that you have been chosen as our next leader.
No.
46 weeks ago, Horace and I set out to make a new type of podcast. Something different. Something you've never heard before. So we were thinking about it. We're like, man, what could be amazing to listen to? No, I don't like that.
Yeah, that.
No. 46 weeks ago, Horace and I set out to make a new type of podcast. It started with scripts and it started with these little transitions, but it quickly blew up to the world that we like to call Camp Podcast. All right, dude.
Yeah.
Which basically involves just two characters. Horace and I like to act out, and we like to tell stories that not only are fun, but also share a little bit about us as people.
Yeah.
Just mostly homages to new shows and movies, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to Faded. It's like our little production studio where we get to make these movies and talk about the development of these movies.
Yeah, and what did they just hear? Just out.
Oh,
they just heard the intro.
The intro.
So,
Dude, this script is absolutely fire, bro.
We got to talk about this.
Another
first.
one.
First of all, we just read over the script.
We read over the script.
This one's a weird one. This structure is super weird today.
100%. And let me let them know as well. Again, if this is your first time tuning in, you're going to hear transitions. You're going to hear our podcast broken up into 4 15-minute segments that are different stages of the development process. This first episode, we like to call them, these 15 minutes, are us reading the script. The next 15 is going to be us actually acting it out. And the next 15 is going to be post-production, what it sounds like, and what we learned from the process.
And this one's weird just because we're reading the script, and usually we'll record after this. Like, we'll record the transitions after this. We're not even doing that. So, because, like, the other one, the one that... The previous episode 12, hasn't even...
They don't need to know all that. They don't need to know all that.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't need to know
anyways,
that. Okay.
It hasn't been, so, like, technically, the script is fully written, like, and we just read over the script, and that's where we are. We're going to record it. So whatever you just heard, we'll record it next week, hopefully, and it comes out great. But we could talk a little about what they did here, though, the intro, which is someone just got kidnapped or something.
And there's, like, the secret organization now?
Yeah.
So you're telling me underneath Camp Podcast is a secret organization?
That's basically what I'm saying. Don't tell, without telling them,
shit.
a little bit too much. They got the whole Lords of the Ancient, so that's basically our, like... Cold open. That's our cold open.
That's a hell of a cold open.
That is one.
That's hell of a cold open, bro.
Yeah.
That literally will set many tones. Oh, we didn't even follow it. Like, you already got it. Like,
yeah.
Very basic.
We got Damien over there. Damien, who, by the way, name. Hopefully, like, people get. It's like it's a cult, right? That he's getting dragged into, but like Damien is like the name of like Lucifer's son or something, like the Satan's son. It's usually like Damien, like Lord Damien. You not know that? Like,
no, I just know a guy named Damien.
Well,
so
check up on him.
Is he the Lord of like? Is he?
But
the
like it
devil's
is the
son?
name. Like, you know, like I was thinking like, do I do Damien or Lucifer? And it was like Lucifer's too long, but Damien is like it's low key. You know, it's like but Damien is like one of the princes or something of like darkness. Wasn't Damien in that Adam Sandler movie that you like?
Oh, no, a little boy or something like that, or
No, the other one, the
Nicky Boy.
Nicky,
Boy.
whatever. Yeah.
I don't think he was. I don't. I
There
don't think
wasn't
there was.
Damien in there. I feel like there was.
It wasn't Nicky. Tell you that much.
Okay, whatever.
So, Maharis, tell me a little bit about the inspiration of the script. Like, why?
Inspiration.
Why are we talking about secret cults and organizations?
Bunch of random stuff. I'd say, like, once again, if you heard the previous episode, talked a lot about like where how my inspiration comes. It's just like I write stuff and like afterwards I read it over and I'm just like, hold on, there's inspiration from these many things.
Yeah.
And I guess two inspirations is probably Community and Avatar for this one. Community basically because there's like there's a secret organization in Community with the AC Repair Club.
Oh, I forgot about that episode. Yeah.
So there's like many episodes actually where Troy Barnes, but one of the characters literally gets like abducted, and they're just like, you're meant to be you're the true repairman. You are the greatest repairman ever. You fix everything and you don't even need to do it. So it, like obviously inspiration from there got drawn in, and then the two characters, which is basically like just Avatar characters. I'm not gonna say their names. Whoever.
Leave that for another episode.
Yeah, leave that for a different episode. But for sure, like they're just like those two characters have like heavy inspiration in there simply because they're like not related, stuff like that. Anyways, that's where the inspirations came from. So
I like it, dude.
know.
I'm excited, man. Like one of the characters you have. Oh, actually, I can't talk about that.
Yeah, I can't wait to record it. I'm gonna be dead honest.
Yeah,
like,
me
I
too.
Just wanna,
I'm excited
I
to
really
record
do just want to record it, but gotta wait a whole week. Imagine that. Like, imagine wanting to do something and then having to wait a whole week.
They don't even know.
I can
They're
write a whole
listening to
other
this.
script after this.
They're listening to this and they don't even know because it's already been done.
Know.
So
Yeah, but I'm pissed off.
I don't give a fuck about what
But
you care
I'm
about.
pissed. All right, you know, like I don't know. This is like it's like weird because like actually like wanting to do something, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like motivation is weird. You know, like having stuff like that.
Ew, you're motivated by something?
Yeah,
that's so
man.
cringe, dog.
I know. It's like
That's weird.
Motivation, dude.
Yeah.
Like shoot me in the leg instead.
Like right, dude? Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get a little bit into what have you been up to this week?
This week has been pretty average, but I like that it was average. I did a lot of the mundane things, got to hang out with some people, got a little closer with my work friends, and got to spend some time with my grandmother, which is dope. But as far as anything eventful happening this week, no, nothing at all, man.
Nothing.
It's been pretty mundane for me, man. What about you? Is there anything exciting happening this week?
Because I feel like I've been listening to the previous podcast, and like every week there's like something crazy happening, like either vacations or trips or fucking just family events. This week, I'm gonna be dead honest, same. Like that ass, like nothing crazy I can think of. Nothing like insane happened this week. It's honestly been like such a light week.
You know what that sounds like?
What does that sound like?
Sounds like dead air.
Sounds like a lot
about
of
a fucking dead air.
Sounds like a lot of dead air. Have you been nothing happened this week, but
have you been watching any shows or movies?
I have been watching shows and movies. I always am. You know?
I love that.
I forgot. I watched this one movie. It came out like a long time ago. It was called Wanted. I remembered it from when I was a kid. I probably watching like some TV, like in a hotel or something. I feel like, but it was basically this one movie where like the guys are able to like curve bullets.
Yes. Okay. Yes. We were talking about this movie earlier.
Yeah,
movie was a mind fuck. All right.
Okay.
Because I still can't wrap. There was another movie with a secret organization.
Yes. So maybe like I'm telling you, like now I'm realizing, but I didn't realize it when I was writing it. Anyways, continue.
They had like the ability to like. There was some guy who wove threads, and they were able to tell the future on who was ready to die next or something like that. But what did that have to do with curving bullets?
No idea.
Okay, well that's not that important.
So
I guess.
I watched that, and I actually ended up watching like 3 of the Captain. What is it called? Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Pirates of the Caribbean. I need to watch them.
By the way, I didn't know I was so much like I was such a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean because like I was like rewatching the movies, and like I didn't remember it right at the time, but as I was watching, I knew everything. Like I was like. I knew every single thing. And then, like, I had, like, memories coming back to me of, like, when I watched it as a kid. And not to mention, I remembered that I actually had, like, a PSP game for Pirates of the Caribbean that I fully, like, grinded and finished. So, like, I was a fucking nerd
All
for Pirates
right,
of the Caribbean
Mr.
back in the day,
Nostalgic.
and I had no idea. Like I had literally, like it just came to me. I was just like, hold on, bro, I fucking love pirates. and then like I feel like I got like a little bit of connections to like One Piece from Pirates of the Caribbean as well, simply because like they have like these 9 warlords of the pirates, and then there's like a king of the pirates, and that like,
Yeah.
gets
Do they have a
everything-
similar structure like that in the
Kind of.
Caribbean?
Yeah, they actually do.
Oh shit! I need to watch it, but it's always been on the list of things
It
to
is.
watch.
You've
I
never
still have-
seen
I
it.
haven't seen a single one of those movies at all, and I know they're
You're
so
gonna love it.
inspirational.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna
I
love
bet.
it.
I bet I'm gonna.
It's
love
actually
it.
so good. Like the CGI. Like honestly, the only thing I was thinking of the entire time, I was just like, wow, why is the CGI so good in this movie that was made in like 2007? But like nowadays, you can see movies and like be like, yo, the CGI is bad. But like the new Flash movie where the CGI was like bad. You know?
Didn't you have a lot of high hopes for the Flash movie?
I
That's your favorite
love
character.
Flash. I love
yeah,
Flash.
That's your favorite
Flash
DC character.
is like my literally like basically favorite character, simply because super speed is my favorite
Yeah.
superpower ever. Like I would love to have that, but like it's just
He just wants to be super speed so he can like pull down women's panties and take a quick look and run away.
Yeah, sure.
I know
but
you're
it just
gross.
doesn't like yeah. I like but that's the thing. I liked the Flash movie, and people hated it, and I saw visible mistakes and problems with the movie. But because I love Flash so much, I'm gonna be dead honest. I've like canceled those out. Like I like been like
You got some- you got some-
anytime like if someone says something bad about the movie, I'm just like that guy's.
You got beer goggles for the Flash franchise? Man? I don't. I saw that. And I
there
was
you
like,
go. I have
this
beer
isn't
goggles
it.
for
This isn't
the
it.
Flash.
No, man. No, I haven't been watching a lot of movies. Honestly, what's been on my mind recently is I've been super nostalgic this week.
Have you?
This has been like I'm turning this 180.
Go ahead.
I've been super nostalgic this week. I don't know why. Like, and a couple things happened to me recently that just like have been invoking a lot of memories.
Okay.
Like one of them is I've been at the gym at my office. And it's been great because like I've been trying to find a way to get back into the gym, and I think I've been found a way that I can incorporate some lifting within my schedule that doesn't burden me too much, and that's working out in the office.
Yeah.
But I was working out in the office, and when I went to go do one of these machines and I'm laying flat on one of these benches, I get the smell of like mat, like rubber, like
Yeah.
you know the material that most gym equipment are
Yeah,
made of.
yoga
They put
mats
in
and stuff, yeah.
yeah, that smell I didn't realize holds so much memories of my wrestling career.
Really?
That when I went to go lay down, I was smacked with years of memory and information, like just from one little smell.
Yeah,
and I was like, whoa. That was fucking ridiculous, dude. I literally texted like one of the guys I wrestled with, and I was like, bro, I'm feeling nostalgic about my wrestling career recently.
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
kind of want to
yeah.
get back into it. And then another thing that happened to me that made me feel super nostalgic was that I've been trying to find new places to like work on the podcast. Like I have a hard time just sitting in my room work
Yeah.
on the podcast. Like
Okay.
I want to go somewhere. I'll go to Panera or whatever. But I went to my old university campus
Yeah.
to find a new place to sit and to do some work. And I was just walking down like our college avenue, and I was just like, dude, like so many memories exist in this place. Like I got super nostalgic about like being a Rutgers student and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all the relationships I had back then and all those people that I met, and I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Those are definitely different Johans that I don't want to be right now because I'm
Yeah,
more
yeah,
mature.
yeah.
I'm a better person, I think. But to just like sit in that building where I was working on a podcast, like couple years after graduating, I was like, bro, I would never imagine I'd be back here. Or
Yeah,
I see
yeah,
like
yeah.
new college students walking past and they're like, you know, like being young college students. And I'm like, look at you guys.
Does that make
Like,
you feel good or does that make you feel bad?
neutral.
Neutral.
It's neutral because I miss it. Like
Yeah, you
that's
miss
the
it.
negative, but the positive is like don't want to be back there because I like my
Would you
world.
say you've accepted that part of your life is over and that like you'll never be there again, but it's okay?
100 exactly.
That's where you're at.
100%. Nostalgic isn't an emotion that
Yeah.
fits nicely into all the other emotions.
It doesn't,
It's
yeah.
nothing like happiness. It's nothing like sadness.
Yeah.
It could be both those things.
Literally, yeah.
But it's its own world, and I kind of like feeling that sense of nostalgia. I don't know.
Yeah. I would say I'm more in the mood like I'm not fully neutral. Like I like hinder on the like more of the sadness. Like I feel both like happiness and sadness, but I'd say I feel like more of the sadness because like I don't know. Like sometimes I feel like, you know, I could go back and like just relive it, like it would be nice, and like or like just go back and like try things again. I don't know. Like I live very much in my own head.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So like I know it's not possible, but there's always like that possibility in my head that yeah, one day I'm gonna go back. like there's just some like just in a
Yeah, that's kinda
like
cool.
time travel wise.
Yeah. Oh, time travel. All right, that's not where I thought you were going. Like I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, I can go back to the place.
No. Like
Yeah,
I
bitch,
mean,
I got a
like
time machine.
fully like relive. Like there's just some inkling in my head that was just like like I don't know, and I like having that thought, even though it's like a negative thought, like which makes me feel worse. Right, I don't know. It makes regardless. It makes me feel worse, but still makes me feel nice. I don't know.
Right? Isn't that such a weird feeling?
It's like such a weird feeling. You don't want to do, but it's like it still makes like you need those times. Once again, you need those times. You need those lows, and you need those like highs. Regardless, but that actually brings me up to like transition to that, which is they're like making this new type of for the new iPhone just got announced, right? And,
iPhone 15.
You know the visual goggle.
Yeah,
thing?
the Pro. Or whatever
What
they're
they invented is basically like now you could take like these 3D live photos, right? So you could take a photo and then you could put on the goggles and you could go into that exact area because it's a 3D. The new iPhone has a 3D camera basically. So like now you could walk through the photo. So like if I take a
How have I not heard
so if
about
I take
that?
a picture of you at the beach, like I could literally walk past you, or like, and I could walk and literally relive the scene. And at the same time, I was thinking this is like so disgusting but cool. Like like it's disgusting because like you should be living in the moment. You shouldn't be like fully. It shouldn't be possible. Like it's like in those future movies where you can relive memories by just like jacking in or something.
There was a Black Mirror episode just like that.
Regardless, yeah. But like this is we're getting into that territory, and it is feeling weirder and weirder because like what does that look like in the future? So because this is what it's going to be like, where people are so invested in their memories that they're not making any new memories or something.
Facts.
It's just like if I had all of my pictures if I had like thousands of pictures from my high school or college days, and I had this type of device that lets me basically relive all of those moments, I could do that every day. Like
and why wouldn't you? Because it's like you could live in that world.
Those are such like if you're taking a picture of it, especially, it's a good fucking moment. So why wouldn't you want to just live in those moments all the time?
Because you're taking away from your present.
But it's because you're taking away from your present, and it's just like that dichotomy is just like
why nostalgia has that weird feeling. Dude, well, we're about to wrap up. And it's great that we talked about this too, because personally for the podcast, we're going back listening to all the old seasons and learning more about what direction you want to head in. So like literally it's all full circle, bro.
Full circle.
It's the past informs us about the present so that we can know where we're going for the future.
Exactly. All right, see you guys next episode.
See you later.
See you next week actually. Bye.
Prince Damien,
Yes.
please follow me. I need to show you around our ancient civilization of podcasters.
Why? Just leave me be. I told you I'm not your prince.
Prince Damien, this is your duty now. Come with me. The creators of Lords of the Ancient were the first podcasters to ever exist. They created this whole place underground to protect us. Protect us podcasters from persecution. This was before freedom of speech was given. Men would have to hide to speak their thoughts, fearing that the wrong thought spoken out loud would have them exiled. This place was created as a sanctuary for freedom of speech, much like how you young folks use TikTok nowadays.
Wait, you guys do podcasts down here too?
Why, of course! Camp Podcast has produced many and most of the famed podcasters to this date.
Oh my god! That's Joe Rogan!
Yes, Mr. Rogan records all of his podcasts down here, in fact.
I'm not saying I agree with this, because I don't.
Drink some more apple juice.
Get some apple juice in your system, fella. By the way, cheers.
Here, cheers, brother. Anyway, when they did all that,
This is crazy.
Yes, it is, Prince Damien. And you own it all.
I can't. I told you, I'm not taking that title.
It's not up to you to decline. You were chosen long before you were born. You have to live up to your purpose.
I don't have a purpose. I just want to relax. That whole podcast camp thing is a mistake. I never even wanted to attend.
As a tree must grow and give shade to the birds, everyone has a purpose. If we didn't have a purpose, then what would there be to pursue? Why would we live? Why would we laugh? Prince Damien, you may not believe it, but everyone has a purpose. And yours is to lead us, to lord us, and to make us better.
What makes you think I'm capable of leading you guys? I don't even know you. I get this place is all cool and mystical and holds secrets to podcasting itself, but I can't handle that kind of responsibility. No, I don't want that responsibility.
You may not want it, but we've been watching over you ever since you were a kid. This is your destiny. I've seen you grow up, Damien. You've turned out to be a fine man. I'd like to think of you as my own son, especially after my own past.
I'm sorry, but I've been kept in the dark. I can't just give me some time. Some time to think over it. And, yeah.
Take all the time you need, Prince Damien.
It's not Prince! Alright, guys, we finished filming.
Yeah.
So, previous episode, we had only, read it through, obviously. So now we just finished actually filming, and it took three-ish hours.
One of our shorter recording sessions.
Really?
Funny enough, yeah. I think it's just we did it late, so it feels we feel a little tired.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
kind of early, to be honest with you.
Honestly, yeah, 3
Yeah.
hours is not that bad. These people are going, what the fuck, 3 hours? Yeah, but
What are you doing?
guys just heard is the Icebreaker, and Icebreaker's a good one as well. Honestly, Icebreaker's probably the best one, probably the best Icebreaker we've had in a long ass time, actually, if you think about it, because our Icebreakers have always slagged short, right? But this one has a bunch of stuff, like you hear Joe Rogan and the podcast.
That was a goal of yours, definitely. We talked about this in previous seasons. The Icebreaker felt like the most lacking.
Yeah. This one had a lot of moving pieces.
Had a funny
it had
ass
a lot
moment.
of it had 2 different environments. It had a bunch of story added to it. There was a bunch of stuff that was explained in the Icebreaker.
Yeah.
So yeah,
This is all canon information, by the way.
Yeah. We don't know how it was edited, but yeah, this is super canon stuff. So what you guys are probably hearing, you're just
Insane.
whoa, what's this underground podcasting organization? Well, man, let me tell you, they rule over. What do they rule over? Everything, bro. They rule,
Everything.
They own it all.
They own it all. All the ancient. They've been for a long time. You know what I mean? So
Joe
their
Rogan
influence.
is a part of podcast.
That
camp?
alone.
Yeah.
The amount of power and influence that comes
Yeah.
from having Rogan a part of our legion.
Yeah. All I know is that I'm going to podcast camp next season.
My mom says I can't do culty stuff, so I won't be there next season. But
that sucks, man.
whenever the Lords of the Ancient
Yeah.
tune out, then maybe I'll join podcast
Okay.
camp.
So, what do you think about voices? Voices here. So, what are we going for voices? Really?
All right,
Who are you going for?
originally, so this started with me telling Horace, I was like, Horace, I would really love to do an Uncle Iroh as a character. And so it transformed. I don't think I nailed Uncle Iroh at all, but I got that raspy deepness, a hint of grandioseness,
Wisdom,
humor.
humor.
I definitely nailed all those notes.
I think we hit the personality traits of Iroh very well. All of his personality traits, except for his power.
They haven't heard the next one, but yeah, when they hear the next one,
I
definitely would agree there.
definitely the humor, the wisdom, and the power, which you kind of hear in his voice. Old guy, attachment. He doesn't get angry. Those are all personality traits that literally define Uncle Iroh. I think we hit all of those. So,
But debatable.
Really?
Yeah, debatable.
Yeah,
I think it was more of a fusion between other
there's
characters.
One of the ones,
well.
that right there. That's the one thing I just thought of. Is just straight up his how he interacts with the enemy is a very big part of Iroh. He always was
Very
forgiving, but he was always helpful towards not just the enemy, but anybody around. He would just help around.
And that's because Uncle Iroh never took things personally.
He was also helping.
It was very much I get you're a part of the system.
Yeah.
I guess the best example would be when he was taken captive by 2 Earth generals.
Yeah.
Because he was left sleeping at a like a sauna, like one of those hot springs.
Yeah.
They capture him, and then like he like politely was just like, I have to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
But then that's when you get to see his whole fire bending, and he blows on the little handles.
Because he's powerful. He has that confidence and stuff. That's kind of stuff
But he
that
could
we
have,
can't, for sure.
He could have killed him immediately.
Yeah.
He could have not played along at all.
Yeah, for sure. He has like obviously he has nothing against earthbenders or nothing. He's honestly a traitor. If you think about it.
Exactly.
But he's a good guy.
But you could have that level of personality when you're as powerful as Iroh.
Exactly. And missing that person powerfulness. I guess you kind of heard powerfulness in the voice maybe, but yeah. And then I was going for more of obviously a Zuko, which is like he's this dark, gloomy, more raspy voice guy. I wasn't really going for Zuko. I'm gonna be dead honest. Like Zuko's like he's just not this character. You know, Zuko's not this character. This character is like partially Zuko, but it's just like Zuko is me. he's got a bit of me in it.
Oh yeah, part of the Prince. Don't call me Prince. Then that's a lot of your
stuff.
Zuko there.
Like, yeah. But yeah, we were just going for like a little raspier voice. That's all I went for, and I think that went well. I could hear some inconsistencies, but you know,
I wonder what people will think when they hear this and be like, bro, they think podcasting has that much of an influence on the world?
Honestly, podcasting does have that much influence.
I think that's what makes it so hilarious, because there is some truth to it.
It is.
There really is.
Podcasting is blowing up. Every single creator, influencer has gone on a podcast or done a podcast. Like, podcasting is fucking huge. It has been here since forever, right? Who knows? Maybe there is a secret organization for podcasters, and that's how you blow up. Who the fuck knows?
Guys, this is our application to that secret organization. Like, we've been doing this for a minute.
We're gonna put this out. Instantly
like,
get doxxed, bro. Instantly get abducted. Guys, this is the last
who
podcast
told
you're gonna
you?
hear from us.
if this ever makes it to the public day,
Yeah.
they got us.
Yeah.
They've killed us already. If you're here listening to this, we are already dead.
Okay.
The legion of podcasters have already gotten to us.
They have gotten to us.
Please let my family know that I love them, and that do not open up my drawer. Please, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
it's my hentai.
On another note, guys, we went and we saw the Sunny podcast together. Real time. We were like there in the grandiose of it all. We saw these people, like we saw Charlie Day, Glenn Howerton, like Mac whatever.
Yeah, Mac whatever.
McElhenney. It's McElhenney.
Rob
McElhenney.
Oh, there you go.
We saw, bro, and then they brought out the
Rob's wife, the
bird. Rob's wife and the waitress, Charlie's wife.
The bird and the waitress were there.
It was honestly, I had a blast. Right.
It was a lot of fun.
It was fun. It wasn't obviously at the end of the day it was a podcast. You
Exactly.
know? So like there's not like crazy amounts of like story and like emotions that you're feeling. You know, but it's like you're just kind of just there and you're just having a it felt like a great conversation with your friends. Like
nostalgic.
That's how it felt. And it was nostalgic.
Nostalgic is the best word I'd use for that experience.
I still can't believe that I saw these guys. That's like the entire when they were leaving. I was sitting there. I was just like, this is my last time I'm ever gonna see these guys in person. One day they're gonna die. Like that's what I was thinking. I was like, one day they're gonna die. I'm gonna think back to this day. Like I'm gonna be like, dang, I remember I saw them that day. That's what I'm gonna think about.
Bro, I mean, I get why you could feel that way because like literally they were right in front of us.
Yeah.
I just have such a hard time like grasping that thought because I'm like, they're on a stage. Like this still feels like I'm watching TV.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I
like,
feel you.
Like, because it's like I'm so far away. We were at the Radio Music City Hall.
Yeah,
Radio City Music Hall. Beautiful fucking place. But
Yeah.
and we had really good seats.
We did have really
great
good
fun,
seats.
bro. Great
Yeah.
fun. It was really good seats.
Thank you.
But
It's
still,
sold out in
I
3 days.
I can literally see the freckles on their face, and I'm still like, that's a TV. That's gonna glitch. One of them's gonna glitch.
Yeah. It felt weird because you see them on TV all the time. It feels like, are they really like there? But
Someone throw something. I don't believe it.
No, I 100% feel you on that. But like they were still there. We were in their presence, man. That's all that fucking
You're
matters.
fanboying
Yeah.
so hard right now, guys. You can't see how red he is.
But
it
yeah,
was a lot of fun. I had a great experience.
It's weird. Like they have weird structures to their podcast. I think what they did was like they were like consistently pulling out like their best clips from the show, and that's what they were doing. They were just like, oh, what's our best cold open? What's our best like blah 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 joke? Let's look at some of Frank and like looking back at those clips with the gang and then like them reacting to it, obviously the entire crowd reacting to it, seeing the crowd being in nice outfits was also cool. The music was awesome. I love that they sang their iconic songs. Like that came out of nowhere, first of all, especially the end one. Will you be my ba-da-da-da?
Charlie sounds exactly like he does.
Yeah, he does.
Live as in on the recordings.
Yeah, just hearing
Exactly
Charlie
the same.
sing live was amazing.
That shit was very
like,
romantic.
Yeah.
I got a little wet when I heard
I know you
Charlie
guys are
sing.
fanboying, but like it's if you guys have ever seen like Sunny in Philadelphia, man, like those guys are iconic. They're on their 25th season or something. They've been going for literally ever. Like they're one of the longest running shows, and they even had a recent season which I loved. So yeah,
but we had to go too because it was also like they're our competition at the end of the day. Remember?
True.
That's
the
originally
reason we
planned,
actually went. Though.
Yeah, because we were like, all right, we got to see what's up with the
It's
competition.
a podcasting thing. We got to
It's
see
a podcasting thing. We got to figure out how what space is. Like, I think there was still a lot they could have done on stage.
Yes.
Like, I think music and comedy have a long history of stage performance, so they kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
But I think like my initial reaction is like if they were more interactive with the audience, I think that would have been more lit.
Yes, a little
Because
bit more interactive with the
It was
audience.
again, nostalgic is the word I want to use because like when they were playing the old clips and I'm like laughing along with all these people with the old clips, I'm like, it feels good, you know what I mean? Like I'm getting to share these great moments that I've already experienced with more people who also like it as well.
Yeah.
So if they were like, I don't know.
For sure, I feel you on the interacting with the more with the audience a bit more.
Yeah.
That's,
that would have been like greater live experience.
Yeah, I would have liked that a lot. I would have liked that more, obviously, but I think they had like not just like time constraints, but they had like clearly set up things. Not to mention they also had like issues, like they had like production issues,
audio issues.
Yeah,
bro.
that's
What
so
cringe,
audio
bro.
issues for
That's so gross.
like
dude.
in a radio music hall, you can't play a fucking video on the goddamn monitor. Like,
yo, they're
these
broke.
guys are slack. But
They might not be as great as we think they are. They got them audio issues.
But yeah, a lot of what they did is, first of all, you could tell that they were playing characters the whole time,
Seriously.
especially in their like when they're doing the podcast. Like they're not. Like, you could tell that they're playing some sort of character. Like, they're expending a lot of energy doing what they're doing. And you could tell, like, since we're sitting there and we're looking at them and, like, the camera, usually when you're watching a podcast, usually the camera is panning to people. So you're only seeing people who are actually talking. But you could see these people when they're not talking. You could see them, like, sometimes in deep thought. And then they'll jump out with, like, a joke or something. But, like, they're, like, really trying to be very as entertaining. Like, you can tell they're being characters and they're trying to be as entertaining as possible.
I think it's like when you have an audience that sees you in the same capacity as they do in the show, I think it's really easy to fall into that. Like, I don't know how much, because we don't know them personally.
Yeah.
How much they're playing a character or they just being themselves.
Yeah.
Because it feels like they're playing a character because they're very much feels like the characters from the show.
If the bird is like that in real life, the way because she was playing her out, like, Dee was straight up playing her, like, she came out as Dee Reynolds from the show.
What up, bitches?
I am not sitting you. She was doing it the whole time. And it was, like, funny as hell, but it was also just like, I hope she's not like this in person because these people aren't meant to be liked. Right? Like,
They're
Dee in the
actually
show
assholes.
isn't actually.
They're all assholes.
They're assholes. But they were also, like, a lot of their humor is actually making fun of each other. Like, I don't know if you know. Like, literally, as soon as they came out, the first thing they did was make fun of Mac and him being in a box. And, like, they were just joking. What they do is they joke on each other. But once again, that's why I think it's, like, they're just obviously playing some type of character.
For sure. I think it's like more like a balance as well.
Yeah,
Like their humor is to make fun of one another.
Yeah.
And that was the inspiration for the show.
Yeah.
But they genuinely just do it to themselves to joke one another.
And it also, I saw a lot of Charlie. I saw a lot of me and Charlie in the podcast. He, like, specifically, like, he was, like, doing things that were, like, he just had like an impulse and he just did it. You know, that's what it was feeling like. It was
He was not running the show.
Like he was like
he was just jumping in when he
would
wants.
just like cut something and be like, "Let me do my thing first." Like randomly, they're having a conversation. He just gets up and he just starts doing something. He's just like, "All right, now I'm gonna run it for the next 5 minutes," and then he'll cut, and then they'll just bring him right back. And it's just like, I feel like he's breaking the structure by doing that or something. I don't know.
That's Charlie's purpose.
It is
okay?
Charlie. I like
he
it.
is supposed to be the wild card, bitch.
He was being the wild card the whole time.
Yeah.
I saw that the whole time he was being the wild card. He was just like random music, random joke. He was getting up, doing something here, doing something. Like I was just like, okay, like Charlie's like he's
Let Charlie cook, bro. Charlie's being Charlie,
but
bro.
they were all doing their own thing, and like each one of them had their own purpose. Like Charlie wouldn't work by himself at one point.
I don't think so. I don't think any of them
because
would.
because Charlie has his moments where he's just quiet for 5 minutes.
Literally.
Because he's just probably like thinking like, I don't know, is it, like, you know, like he gets me. But yeah, once again, good podcast. Glad we went. Learning experience at the end of the day. I went on a train for the first time.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I was like, I'd always take the train in New York. When Horace texted me saying he wanted to go to Radio City to go to the show, I was like, God, let's take the train. Fuck it. He's like, why are we gonna take the train? We could just drive there.
Yeah.
I was like, where would you park? Where would we have parked?
I don't know. We would have parked somewhere, but honestly,
Nowhere.
yeah, the train was better.
Yeah.
I like the train. Like,
Because you get more of that city experience when you're in the train.
It was
You
just,
get to interact with others
I'd
too.
never been on the train, so like I didn't know what to do. So I was having I was like, just whoa, like train, what train? Like how train?
How train do train?
How do train work? You know, I was.
And
having,
then
like,
when we threw the subway in there, he really lost his marbles.
yeah. She's like, dude, can you believe that these trains are underground?
Yo, you were hung up on. They were like, bro, if you were never like lived here in New York City, trains would be so weird.
Yeah.
They'd be
Subway
so
would be
weird.
so weird. You're just like, whoa, you got tunnels leading from one building to another. And I was telling him, like, bro, in Minecraft, that's like the last thing that you do. Like, all of your friends build bases, and then like at the end, you build like tunnels underground with rail cart systems to each other's houses, and it's like super fast and cool. It's just like, oh yeah, yo, can you give me some materials? Yeah, I got you. Just sending it over on the train.
we even joked. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna actually set up an underground rail system to your house.
Yeah.
So if I ever need to send anything, I can just send it you through the minecart, and then you go pick it up.
That'd be great. You know, or one of those like piping systems. But yeah,
Ooh,
we are out of
pneumatic
time. You guys are about to hear the sports episode, and hopefully you like it.
See you guys in 6 weeks.
Yep. See you guys. Old Man Smith, where are you taking me? What is this place?
This is Pie Show. Our ancient ancestors played it, and so do we. Now you may start, Prince Damien.
It's just Damien, and I don't know how to play.
Nonsense! You are our lord. You must know this game. It's inside you. Now, play your turn.
Okay.
Damien, this game is about harmony, finding peace. As each child is placed, you feel more relaxed. You calm down. It is said that some of the biggest and best ideas in podcasting were come up while playing Pie Show.
So what? You think getting me to play this will make me want to actually rule over this place?
You misunderstand me. This will not make you do anything, but it will show you the path. And just like that, we're done.
It's shaped like a sun.
The sun is round, like my belly. It also has many meanings. In Pie Show, that meaning is responsibility. The sun has a responsibility. That no matter what, the sun will be up in the morning. The sun is there from when we enter this life until we leave it. So that sun bears a lot of responsibility. But with the responsibility comes significance.
What if I don't want significance?
Who does not strive for significance? We have finite time on this earth. Do you want your time to be remembered? Do you want to be someone important? Then bear this responsibility. Lead us.
I told you I can't.
You still aren't accepting who you are. That you are our prince. Even after playing Pi Show, as you've been playing your whole life.
Well, that just...
No! You will come to understand. I will show you the right path.
Why?
Because that is my purpose.
All right, guys. Week something. No, episode 3.
Episode 3
Yes,
of
sir.
season 13.
Yes,
that's
it
for sure.
has been a whole other week for us.
Yeah.
Again.
Yes, it has been. Well, that's how this works, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
What did you
what
think?
did they just hear?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
All right.
They definitely just heard the sports episode.
Yes.
Right? And we also I just went through the first 3 transitions, and now I am also, so they just played Pi Show. That's just what happened.
Correct.
You know? And
Mythical game from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
yeah.
I thought it was a real game.
Yeah.
It was like, why are there no sound effects for this?
There is. It is in fact not a real game. I don't know why I had the idea for Pi Show. Actually, yeah, it makes sense.
It was Iroh.
These are like Avatar characters. I don't know if you guys could tell. Probably not. Honestly,
Nah, he doesn't sound like.
It doesn't sound like
Iroh anymore.
like it doesn't feel like a. I don't know. It's different. It's weird. What I do want to say about honestly, not just this what do you call it, the story that we have, but like the last few stories. So like I've been trying to have more deeper meaning in like just the stories in general, right? Make them more like I don't know what you call it, like deep. Just straight up, that's it. Like, I've just been trying to make them
like
deep.
a hidden meaning.
You know, like,
meaning.
I guess, like, yeah, hidden meanings and stuff. But, like, I've really been trying to, like, have, like, monologues, you know, which, like, has one character just, like, kind of spilling his guts and stuff. And I've been doing that for, like, the last few stories. And I'm going to be honest, there's just, like, it just feels like, they're not, like, bad. It's just, like, it's not the direction that I want to head in. Like, these are like turning into like these like soap operas, these like mushy like emotional feel, not like, but like first of all, it's not our best, it's our worst acting that we have, probably, because it's the hardest to act.
It's up there.
It's the hardest to,
in that genre of, like, you know, sadness and true passion. It's hard.
Which has been the last few episodes, and, you know, like, obviously we had a little bit of success with the Mark Zuckerberg one, but that's where it started. These type of episodes where it's just
100%.
like straight up just what do you call it, just rivalry across, or kind of like, you know, something like that. And even that one, there's just what's missing in there is like, and something that the reason we created these stories to begin with is like straight up they're missing like heart.
Yes.
And like love, like straight up just love, like it's missing heart and love, because like I don't know why, it obviously it's more of a darker subject, right? But like the only thing you can do for these characters is feel bad for them. All of these characters, like, they're meant to be felt kind of bad for at the end. Like, some of them, like this one's like, you feel like a little bit of, but like at the end of the day, these guys are going through like these harsh trials that are like actually like really harsh. Like, I don't know, I feel like you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you could like.
I got you. I think, like, there's one thing for us to feel bad for a character, but there's another, like, I think the goal we want to aim for is instead that they sympathize, or at least empathize with the character.
Exactly. Yeah.
And in order to do that, we as the listeners have to feel emotionally attached to some capacity to the characters.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if, I think what I think is a little missing is the fact that, and what the Facebook one had, is that we know how the character suffered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think this season, or this
Well,
story,
the
I should
character
say,
didn't really suffer here.
he didn't
but
really
still
suffer
just,
at all, but it's a little hard to feel
it-
emotionally attached to him because we don't know the things he's been through.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's just him talking a lot about like his family struggles and like struggles with finding himself type stuff and like having the passion or like or like where all of these like discipline is like having this responsibility put on top of him.
Responsibility. He's like a
all of that-
Spider-Man.
Yeah. All of that stuff was put on. This is like Spider-Man.
We
like,
just needed an Uncle Ben.
No. This is like Spider-Man 1, but without all the action scenes that make it like fun. Does that make sense?
that's also true.
You know,
We also don't have the action scenes.
but this is like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. You know, Spider-Man is normally like a quippy, funny type of guy. You see that more with like Tom Holland and stuff, and
Andrew
like,
Garfield.
but like the Sam Raimi ones, they didn't have that. They were always like dark and gloomy, and like it had a different feel. But without that, if you take the action out, like this is what we're left with. Like we just don't
So
have.
not only the worst Spider-Man,
but
without the action.
it is my favorite Spider-Man. What are you talking
Sam
about?
Raimi?
Sam Raimi is not your favorite? Dude,
man.
I watched
What,
that when I
dude?
was like 4, dude. I watched it like 30 times. You're bugging.
The Amazing Spider-Man?
Sam Raimi's the
The
original.
Amazing Spider-Man. You talking?
No. I just, obviously, I think the Amazing Spider-Man is like the original, the first one.
Yes,
with
that
Andrew
was a
Garfield.
that's my
I
favorite.
think that one was better, but like the original, like you just can't. You legitimately can't.
I don't think I've seen the Sam Raimi one, to be honest with you. I don't think I actually have a good idea what you're talking about.
I knew That's why I knew Spider-Man, because I used to live in New York and he used to like swing from the New York Bridge, and then every time we used to go over it after that movie, I was just like, "This is the bridge where they shot." And
That's cool. That's super cool because
Yeah.
you're literally there.
I
like,
was
oh, this
always,
is-
I
that's
was
actually
looking,
really
I was always looking for. I was just like, "This is a Spider-Man thing," and my dad even took me to the pizza shop, the dollar pizza.
Nah, man.
For Spider-Man, but yeah.
But no, honestly, like, I really think we're like, I'm gonna just repeat myself. I think we're missing the Uncle Ben.
I guess kind of what you're saying. Yeah. I know what you're saying. Like we're missing kind of like
We can empathize with the character
to empathize more
when they're
because-
going through a struggle like death, like something
Yeah.
very common. We understand.
I understand. I get all that, but
Yeah.
also I just don't want that mood though. I don't want
Me
that
too.
entire.
I'm ready to move past
I
it.
don't want the dark like like
I think we
we're
did enough of it.
I think a couple of our early statements when we were creating the podcast was like the idea of creating characters specifically was that I want people who are listening to the podcast to basically like fall, like the reason it's called Faded and then Faded is because like they're destined to meet, but then they fade away, and as they fade away, you guys as listeners are just like, hold on, we're not gonna like
Hear them again.
we're not going to hear them again, or like you've missed them. We want you to the whole point of the interview is their last goodbyes. Like you're straight up not going to see them again. Like this is like that's like an emotional part, but it's like a happy sad. Like if you were gonna cry, it was gonna be a happy cry. This is like a cry. Even the last few, they're just straight up dead, or like I don't know.
They commit suicide.
It's just straight up cry. You understand what I'm saying? Like these aren't leaving like good taste in your mouth, but that's not a bad.
That's important. That's
but here's
important,
the thing.
though.
But that's not a
I know what you're
bad
gonna say.
thing.
Continue.
These aren't. It's not a bad thing. Like people watch murder documentaries. People watch like, and they're addicted. Like people are addicted to horror movies. Like all of these things are these type of genre. But that's not the type of genre that I want to act in. I never saw myself in a romantic or a horror movie. I always saw myself in like a comedy.
In a comedy. We both have the sticks for a comedy.
Yeah. I don't know.
The drama side, like, I think we could do
It's
it.
more fun.
And I think this is important, obviously. Like, the reason we started down this venture is
Yeah.
because we want to expand our range.
For sure,
of
that's-
things that we can act, doing the scripts that we can write.
Yeah, but
and I definitely think we nailed that, but I think we did
I
enough
want
of
to.
it.
I want to
move on.
sit it down for a while.
Yes.
Until I get that urge to come back. I don't really want to until I get like some type of like, oh my god, I really want to do this like deep dark like.
And then that's great
blah.
because there's clearly, like, inspiration's obviously just amazing. Period.
Yeah,
Especially from a script and then from a performance standpoint.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to go back to what feels comfortable to us.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the horrors and the dick jokes.
Yeah, just stupid
Like
stuff.
the more we can do dick jokes is gonna be fantastic.
For sure. Okay.
Because it's just like as that's like as though we are providing entertainment for the people, we also just gotta have fun with it too. you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that also the recording sessions for these are also like not what we want, right? Because me and you talk about how we want recording sessions where me and you are just laughing. I'm not going to be pretending to die, like be all emotional, and like it's not an environment for me and you to be laughing. First of all, not to mention to get into character for these scenes. Like I have to put myself in like his shoes, and he's like in a depressed state. So what the fuck am I I gotta put, like, you understand, like this isn't like South Park funny sad. This is this is like sad, like when Butters faked his death and his parents were crying, right? And they were like holding up this dead pig carcass. I was laughing because it was funny, even though it was sad. Like, I'm pretty sure while they were acting it, they were laughing out loud, even though they were sad, because it's funny sad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't funny sad. This is just sad.
Put that on the t-shirt, bro. This isn't funny sad. This is just sad.
Yeah. Good episodes, though. But, like, they really, like, I do like these episodes. Like, these are the episodes, like, last time, these are the episodes that are gonna, like, if I'm listening to it, at the gym, this is the type of episode that's going to give me motivation. Okay. You know, if I listen to a funny episode that we had, what is that going to do for me? Not like
I'll be entertained, and if I'm high as hell, then I'm gonna have I'm gonna laugh.
Exactly. But this type of episode is for like, yo, I'm trying to grind. I'm trying to, you know. So like, we have episodes for everything. Like,
what do you think is some of the good things we did in these sadder episodes?
In these sadder episodes, like I don't know. I can really only think about, like, obviously I feel like the sounds all made it through, right? Like I do like basically whatever I feel like you nailed the background sounds for all of these dark ones. I feel like they're kind of easy except for the horror one, because you struggled with that one. But I think they're all kind of simple.
You might think they're easy. But actually, I felt so comfortable with this one because of the horror episode.
Really?
I felt so comfortable with this.
Okay.
I already knew what this needed. Yeah. I don't think I'd do this if it wasn't for the horror episode.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think that was well. Obviously, the way this is the last. This is like 5 in. We're like 5 or 6, probably 6th dark. Or like not dark, but like just straight up just a rivalry episode. I'm just gonna call them rivalry episodes. This is like our 6th like rivalry episode, and like I've been like, if you put them like back to back, you just see an increase in dialogue from script to script.
Yeah.
B, an increase of background noises from script to script. Yeah. And then 3, like just straight up an increase of like different monologues from script to script. Not to mention we lost the copy, like basically using other source
works.
Materials. Like we lost that as well. So
we
made significant process. This I think is too far. This, like, I feel like we were going, then we took one too far step. Too many monologues. I feel like the last one, maybe the one before that, you know, like, but yeah, the last one I feel like had a good length to it. This one is a little bit too many monologues. Like, I think there's like 5 or 6 like
from different
you know, like that's a lot of monologues.
You start one and you end one, and then I have 3 somewhere in the middle that are just
there's so many monologues, you know, and like I understand,
my belly.
I understand we had to like I was adding those because what do monologues do? They give a chance for the character spill their whatever they're going through and thoughts and emotions and blah blah blah.
What a monologue doesn't do though, is that it doesn't open up the viewer to understand two people's relationship.
Yeah, it's one.
Yeah, because like understanding someone's relationship is like a tennis match. You know what I mean? There's got to be back and forth and back and forth, and that's when they're like, oh my god, these 2 characters together like this.
Yeah,
it was almost none of that here.
It wasn't. No.
I like the angle we wanted with this one was like the father and son dynamic, and I think my character definitely leaned into it. Yeah, but I think your contribution or your character's contribution was more just like the size, and you sound like an annoying teen.
Exactly.
And that's great. That was perfect. We nailed that. It's just it wasn't enough to get the father and son dynamic we're looking for.
I'd say the one that we nailed is definitely the cop one. You know, I feel like that's a good, like, first of all,
good back and forth.
Still our best episode, but still like a good the amount of detail and amount of length was enough to see the relationship between the two characters. You know them like very well, how their dynamic works, you know, who's the boss, who's not, you know, not to mention, even though it was a darker episode, like it still had enough comedy to like fit into where I want to be. Like, I feel like we with that one, I did that, and then I was just like, let me make another one, right? Another rivalry episode, but like the difference was that it just wasn't a comedy, you know. It was like if we want to do a rivalry episode, I want it to be like that, where it's a rivalry episode, but the scenario that they're in is comedy.
I would agree wholeheartedly.
The scenario is comedy, but it's still a rivalry,
and the characters can be like their true emotions, but the situation is so absurd that it's like, okay, this is still kind of funny.
Yeah,
bro.
this is. I feel like this is supposed to be kind of like that, right?
With the whole podcasting universe and all
and
that,
the whole whatever thing. But there's no there's no jumping into the absurdity. Like, my character was not like, you were saying some absurd ass shit that I was just batting an eye to. You are our prince. You don't you know how you just know how to do Pai Show because you're our chosen one. Oh yeah, by the way, Joe Rogan records here. I mean, that's partly, you know, comedy, but yeah, we're out of time for this one.
that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
Bro.
We'll see you in the next one. You guys are about to see the actual rivalry of the rivalry. So yeah.
Perfect.
Hang on tight. Old Man Smith,
Yes, Prince Damien.
when can I leave? It's been 5 months.
You can leave whenever you want, Prince Damien.
I know. Why can't I leave?
I don't know the answer to that.
All my life, I was told I was special. And I felt special. But I was ordinary. Everything in my life was either given to me or I was guided through it. I never had any responsibility. And I was okay with it. So why am I still here? Why can't I leave?
Damien, you have changed. In these last 5 months, you have made immense progress. I've watched you turn from a boy to a man. You are simply living up to your duties. It is about time you accept who you are.
I have, old man. I'll try to live up to your expectations of me.
If you don't mind, I would like to ask you a question, Lord Damien.
It's just Damien. And you don't need to ask me for permission. What is it?
Why do you attend podcast camp? Time and time again. What kept bringing you back? We've looked into your backgrounds. You're not the type. We know the logical reason why you keep coming back, but what is your real reason?
I've read the ancient texts. I know it describes of a person who has nothing but builds something through podcasting, and that's supposed to be their savior. Honestly, I don't know. I've always felt drawn here. I'm not going to acknowledge the whole prophecy thing, but it's the truth to why I'm even here. For some reason, whether I feel like it or not, when a new season for the podcast starts, I always end up coming. It makes no sense. If I'm lazy or depressed, I won't go to the gym or I won't study, but I'll still come to the podcast camp. What is that?
That is called discipline. And whether you want to believe it or not, you got this discipline because you are the chosen one.
Well, I guess I got nothing to worry about. Because whether I want to or not, I guess I'm staying.
Now that is called acceptance.
Okay. Motivational music.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
I like that. I heard that
Suit for motivation.
that violin. I was like, oh, this is really good. I
No,
like
that was
this.
nice. That was nice.
like
It set
the
the tone
sound.
because that's kind of like, once again, just like 2 more monologues, like just like battered out. Like I'm it's
They already
like
know.
the scenes are long, but they're just jam packed with dialogue. Like it's a lot. We should obviously we know like I kind of noticed when we were actually recording it. you know, that we were like splitting up the scripts into like 3 parts or like 4 parts simply because like, bro, they were long, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're just like long scenes. And like, obviously we were talking about like expanding the story and like whatever. But once again, a little bit just too far. But what do you think about
So yeah,
this one?
for overall or this one
Just
specifically?
this one specifically?
Oh, I like this one. This was the easiest one to do. 'Cause
Okay.
it was just some bird noises and some music. I was like,
Nice.
great. That's all I
Nice.
got to put on this bad boy, and I'm moving forward.
Yeah,
Of course,
yeah.
the only thing that takes the longest is finding the actual music that's perfect for the settings.
Yeah.
And I was able to find this one quite quickly. I'm trying to remember the name of the violinist.
Yeah.
Because she was amazing. I'm gonna put it in here in post. The cellist's name is Brianna Tam. I found her on Artlist, but if you want to follow her, you can follow her at her Instagram at brianna.tam.cello. Her music is phenomenal. Highly recommend. Yeah, that's her name. So check her out if you want to listen to more of her music, because I highly recommend it.
Chances are you never even put it in. So.
I'll put it in. Imagine I leave it.
Just got to say that just in case. You know, there is a chance, you know?
Yeah, no, but I really like this one. But it was simple. And I think there was a space for us to do more with this one, just because we were still talking about the same thing in this section that we were talking about in the entire rest of the story.
Yeah.
Like, there was no difference, really.
Yeah.
Like, you theoretically could have just cut that whole piece out.
Which one?
This whole transition.
Yeah.
This whole transition,
okay.
you technically could have cut out and had the same story.
Technically, but this was like the whole like realization part, and like, you know, it was like, it was just a summary of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because it was so much shit that like you can't just be like, oh dude, congrats on winning that soccer tournament. Thanks, man. No, it was just like,
Yeah.
yo, like I did this, I'm in charge of this, I fixed that. Like it was like
No, you definitely got to the point where the character was like, okay, I'm accepting now what this is my future now, I guess, moving forward.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was like a traumatic event as a reason why he accepted it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he might have just needed a reason why he accepted it, not that 5 months had passed.
Yeah. I guess for sure.
Yeah, but
It was just the fact that they had grown together or something. I mean, but what more traumatic? What's more traumatic than getting kidnapped?
you hear that little bonk in the beginning too? Bonk.
Yeah, I feel like that was the event. Him getting
was
just
funny.
straight up just annihilated by a kid. And like, what? Did they have a rival war with a different cult?
All right, Harris, I got a question for you.
What's the question?
Okay, I have a mission statement that I think we should start using as our tagline. Tell me if you like it.
Okay.
All right. Redefining podcasting.
Terrible.
I think it's perfect.
Why?
I think what it does is it gives us a clear mission and what we stand for. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because that tagline is the reason why we did this podcast. We wanted to create something, a podcast,
Yeah.
that was different than every other podcast. And we've successfully done that.
True.
Not only with the movies, but I think what it's more clear to me is the fact that we created a podcast that creates something. And I
Yeah.
could see that expanding further than just creating stories. Like, imagine this same podcast, but instead they make music.
Yeah.
And each of the transition is like, first is the drum line, then it's the snares, and by the end of the podcast, you hear the full song. Tell me you wouldn't be so emotionally invested in that song by the end of it. Or same with like painting. It's literally just like a Bob Ross. Like,
Yeah.
imagine Bob Ross also just included more anecdotes of his life as he slowly builds his painting.
Yeah.
So the new podcast is one where now something comes out of it. And because we love art and we love the story behind the art, the podcast, which is the reason why we do this podcast, is that we're telling the story of us creating a new podcast. And that's the same story that can be replicated in different art
Oh
forms.
no, man! It sounds like you're describing YouTube commentary.
That's what I want our tagline, redefining podcasting.
We need to make that pretty clear that I don't know about that whole music and like art thing. Because if you think about the whole art thing, like imagine it's just some guy who like every podcast episode just creates a painting, right? So like every transition is just him doing a section of the painting and then 15 minutes of him talking. That is a legitimate, just a normal ass YouTube video.
But it's not a podcast.
In fact,
it's not a YouTube video.
He
There's
doesn't
some-
call it a podcast.
But we
doesn't
do
ca-
that.
he
But we
doesn't-
do that. We set the standard
No. I'm like I'm not arguing with your with like the whole redefining thing. Like I do think that's what we're definitely, that's a good mission statement and everything. But like, and I like the music one, but like I think it stops there. I think it's like because we're trying to do it with media, like in general,
yeah.
right? Like stuff like normal skills. This is not for all skills. We're not trying to redefine all skills.
No. No.
We're just trying to do just media.
We're trying to do stories. This is what we do.
Yeah, we're doing
But I just want
yeah.
that mission statement.
Nah, if you do
Because it's
fucking,
what gets people, it rallies people.
If you're doing fucking like drawing art and then doing this podcast structure that we have, fuck you. You're not a part of us. Get out of here.
You can't join our group.
Yeah, what do you do?
That,
what do you do, bro? That's nothing. That's garbage. Me and him were talking about animating the whole thing. That means we're doing twice what you're doing. Like,
get wrecked, bitch. Get wrecked. What you got?
You're not one of us, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know why he said that. I don't know why he said artist.
One of us.
He's not one of us,
no,
bro.
wait. I'll accept you, art guys. Don't worry.
We are,
Fuck Horace,
no,
I'll accept you guys. You guys can join us.
You gotta
all right?
create something real.
But that music one sounds like a great idea.
No, and the main reason the art one doesn't work is also because it's a fucking visual media in a fucking auditory media.
All right.
Like,
put a pin on that, brother.
Yeah.
Let's go to the thing I actually want to talk about.
Yeah.
It's that mission statement being integral to
Yeah.
what we talk about, but also when we do like when we talk to other people about it.
What are we gonna do with this mission statement? What am I supposed to do?
It's just our tagline.
What does that
Redefining
mean?
podcasting.
What do we do
It's
with
gonna
that?
be like it's gonna be in our titles. It's gonna be in our titles. It's gonna be part of our banner.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something that's every great company has a mission statement.
Yeah.
It's like, what are their aim to do? And I think that, and I spent a lot of time thinking about this because we don't have one, and I think that should be ours.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm game with it.
Yeah, and it makes it clear to others what the point is.
The only thing I'm thinking
of why
is,
we created this.
I want I feel like progress needs to be somewhere in there. I don't know if it does. Like, it's not that high of a priority. But we are. Yes, we're about redefining podcasting, but we're also. It's like a 50-50 between redefining podcasting and the progress of redefining and becoming better podcasters. It's a 50-50.
I think I agree. I agree in the sense that I think maybe it's a better wording, but you want to also include the fact that this story is developing as we continue making it about what the type of people.
Well,
like
at least in Epoch,
writers.
but at least Epoch 1, which is our training arc, is literally progress.
I want to put like dumbbell sounds every time we say training art.
Yeah. But it is, right? I'm not so like I feel like maybe like this is like super like I legitimately could care less if it isn't or is, but like just putting it out there. Like, it is a 50-50 of what our podcast is about.
Why you shoot me down?
The progress. I'm not. I literally did it. I literally said my idea is not priority.
Sorry, I misheard you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm saying mine is like I don't care.
Yeah, maybe we can come up with something that includes both that as well.
If you want
that
to.
is integral. It is
if you
integral.
want to, bro.
Like we are just storytellers,
Yeah.
and we're just trying to find a new way to tell a story, and that's why I think.
All right, that's completely different from the other two.
No, well, yeah.
Now it's 30.
Let me get there,
now
man.
It's 33.
I'm getting there.
3%.
You ain't listening. Let me finish, man. Yeah, like redefining podcasting. That's the start, but the medium we chose is to tell stories because we are storytellers. But I'm saying that can be changed out. That can be changed for music. And now I want to come up with other ideas in case people ask.
Okay.
Yeah, man, we need a rally. You know what I'm saying? It's something that people can get behind. That's the core of many businesses as well. It's it's the whole point. Pause.
You need to sit down,
Pause.
buddy. Okay, we have 6 minutes
Listen.
to specifically talk about the actual theme before we run out of time. Purpose.
I don't agree with the theme from this episode.
Okay.
It's not like like Prince Damien, our character, never found purpose. His purpose was dropped on his lap and he accepted that purpose.
Yeah.
That isn't like realistic to the real world. And so I want to continue telling stories where people would disagree. I hope you disagree with me right now. I hope you. What do you think about purpose? Do you think like this story did a good job of describing the theme of purpose?
I think it did a great job at because like at the end of the day, it's a story, and a story is supposed to signify something, not what do you call it? Like have the steps towards actually doing that thing. You're not supposed to follow in this guy's footsteps. You're supposed to see from what he's done and like just get the point, you know. And the point is that, you know, like when you were given like a purpose, and this is basically done metaphorically in the story, like it's straight up just like it, like when you're given a purpose, you have no choice. You just straight up have no choice but to just go and do it, because that's what you were born to do, like straight up. Like, and not to mention, when you find your purpose, even if you don't want to do it, you're gonna end up being pulled into it. Like it's your entire being is gonna want you to do, like it's just who you are and who you become, like and you do it whether you're sick, whether you're healthy, like it's just, that's it.
Have you seen the movie Elemental?
No.
Great movie. I really recommend. It's a Pixar movie.
Okay.
But the short of it is that there's one character, this fire character, where her purpose was supposed to run her father's shop.
Okay.
At the end of the movie. And she ends up deciding that she doesn't want to run her own father's shop. She wants to go do glass making because she's this fire character. The whole movie spends a lot of time like making it seem like this girl's going to end up taking over her dad's shop, and that's her purpose and that she belongs. But she has this conflict, this internal struggle where like my entire life I knew I was supposed to run the shop, but now that I'm older, I don't feel like I want to anymore.
Uh-huh.
So I ask you, do you feel like you have a purpose in life? Like, do you feel like there's something that is pulling you towards something that you feel destined to be a part of?
No.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of our viewers can also relate to that.
But that's
well.
the thing. You
like,
find it. It wasn't Van Gogh. He was either 27 or 37 when he first started painting.
It's a big
gap. And then it was just one of those ages.
Yeah.
But like he died when he was like 45, and he drew from that. I'm pretty sure it was 37. He drew for those like 8 years, like more paintings than most people have like their whole lives. He was basically drawing like I think it was making full 7 paintings every single week.
Talk about commitment,
like
man.
And he did it until he died. Even when he was in like a psychiatric hospital, all he was doing was just straight up art. And he didn't discover that he wanted to do that until he was, you know, like 37. Like that's it. Especially back then. I don't know when he was alive, but he was like obviously like, you know,
Yeah,
like,
it's old. It was
back then, you know. Like
it's not now. It's a little better.
Yeah. But regardless, you know, 37 is still fucking old. I'm not 37, so I can say that.
That's true, man. We're still on our own journey trying to find our own purpose.
Yeah. So 100%. Like when you find your purpose, you're just gonna like. No matter what, like just like Van Gogh, like he didn't like you do it through sickness, through health. Like there's the Black Clover recently. Like manga artists are great people to talk about when it comes to purpose, because these people literally live and breathe manga. Like that's all they do. That is their purpose. The Black Clover manga writer, he's known for taking the least amount of breaks. He's getting close to finishing the manga, right? But like people have been like straight up begging him to like stop like and take breaks, but like he's been doing it through straight up, like there was a point where his ears were just oozing something, and he was just like, he just worked through it. He just straight up worked through it.
Savage.
Like you just got to do it. Like what do you think Oda does? Like these manga people, like their schedules are like 5 hours sleep, 1 hour to wake up, shower, get ready, and then just straight up just work, like just straight like just draw, like.
Yeah.
Because you got a storyboard, you got to talk to editors all day. Like you're talking to people. It's not you're by yourself. Like people depend on your finishing. So like, you know, like these guys have like a legitimate purpose, and no matter like sickness or in health, you're fucking doing it because that's what you wake up to do. Like that's your like, you know, like these people have found it.
I think purpose isn't like this it's too romanticized. I think a lot of people have the idea that when you find your purpose, you're like, oh my God, I'm happy to do it. Like every day is going to be so exciting when I do this thing.
No.
I disagree.
It's not.
It's not. It's like you just feel like you have the urge to do it.
Exactly.
That urge might be positive sometimes,
Yeah.
but many times it might be negative, or but like you're just like, I need to get this done.
Yeah.
It like pulls you, whether you want to or not, whether your pants are on or not, it pulls
Yeah.
you to draw to do it.
Yeah.
Like I just reminds me of that like short story of like the old man who would get water from a well.
Yeah.
And this younger dude comes up and he's like, bro, I can build you a little pulley system. And then you can pull up the water super fast and you don't have to worry about this anymore.
Yeah.
And the old man's like, no, I've been doing this my entire life. I love slowly rowing down the water, grabbing much water as I can, and then pulling it up without breaking the vase
Yeah.
in the well. Because I feel like I have intention. I'm doing this intentionally and it gives me purpose in life.
Yeah.
Like, there are easy solutions there.
Mm-hmm.
But that old man found something he wants to do every day,
Yeah.
whether easy or hard for him, because it's what he wants to do. It's his purpose.
Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot, like, when it comes to these types of, like, talks about, like, purpose and, like, stuff like this, like, it can, these just motivational talks, they can get, like, skewed. Like, you could really focus on one thing that we said, like, everyone has a purpose and that it's supposed to be so grand. But, like, it could be something tiny, you know? Like, your purpose could just be to bear a child or, like, just to literally just be alive and like protect and keep and take care of your dog. That could be it. Because and like it's crazy to think about, but to your pet, right? Like you are the most important thing in the world to him.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't care about the any celebrities, like he doesn't care about
money
the
or
president. He doesn't care about the
Jones.
money. He doesn't care about anything. Like you are legitimately the most important person. Like they see you as like that's it, like that's their whole world. And that's crazy. That's a crazy responsibility to think about. Because then you look at, like, if you look at your pet and you're thinking this, you're just like, hold on, bro, like this guy's like if he's happy, it's because of me. If he's sad, it's because of me. Like everything, like, you know, that holds a lot of responsibility, and that's purpose. That could be it, you know?
It could be. And you can
there's
find satisfaction in it.
Exactly.
Like deep, meaningful satisfaction
Exactly.
if you're ready to look for it.
Exactly.
And I think
Yeah.
that's the other piece of the equation too of
Yeah.
purpose. Like you also have to have the faith that, you know, I'm happy that I'm doing this work.
Yeah.
There is satisfaction to be found in anything.
Yeah. And you see it in a lot of like homeless people who have dogs as pets. Like
That's their best
stay sober, they stay healthy, they grind, they get food, they starve for them. Like they do it for otherwise if they didn't have a dog, like they could, like, who knows, but they'd probably be in a worse place. When you have some sort of purpose, like as if like protecting an animal, like that gives you reason. Like, yeah, he might not want, that homeless person doesn't want to get up tomorrow, I promise, like, you know, but he needs to for it, and that's purpose.
That's some great closing remarks there,
Yeah.
Horace. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I need that personal reminder myself sometimes too.
Okay.
And I hope the listeners take it away too that,
Yeah.
hey man, if you haven't found it yet, you will. But when you do,
Yeah.
remember, you also have to put in the work to find the satisfaction in that purpose.
For sure.
I hope you guys are a good luck. Peace out. Have fun. Stay safe.
Yep.
Any final thing you want to bid them farewell with?
No. That's it. Yeah. See you guys. Hopefully you guys find your purpose, and hopefully you guys like today's podcast.
Yeah. If you guys are making
Catch
the
us
music
more.
podcast, let me know. All right. No. Peace out, guys.
All right. Peace. Bye-bye. It's been 5 years since I was first brought to the Lords of the Ancient. At first, I was reluctant, held back. I didn't know why all of this was happening to me, why I felt drawn here, and why I couldn't leave. I made friends, I made family, but most of all, I've accepted my purpose. My purpose is to lead you people, us, podcasters. We rule the world and the perception of living things from words alone. It is a tough and difficult responsibility to uphold, but you have all helped me and have been so welcoming. Here's to another lifetime of podcasting. I love you all. and I will do my best to keep us moving forward.